Welcome back students. In this video we are going to learn lesson number 17, effects of light. Do you know students that when sun rays pass through a glass prism, what are the colors in the band of light seen on the other side of the prism? Sun rays after passing through the prism show bands of 7 colors: violet, indigo, blue, grey, yellow, orange and red, as you see in the rainbow. In your previous classes, you have learnt that light is composed of several colors. You must have also seen the dust particles in a beam of sunlight entering the house through a small window. We switch on the headlamps of a car when we drive through a thick fog. You might have seen the beams of those lamps. What do we really see when we see a beam of light? We see tiny dust particles floating in the beam. That is why we are able to see the beam of light. We see a variety of shades of color in the early morning and evening sky. In the photographs taken from space by satellites, the earth appears to be bluish. What is the cause of all these effects? Sunlight is scattered by the molecules of gases like nitrogen, oxygen in the atmosphere. The blue color in the sunlight is scattered the most and therefore the sky appears blue. Sunlight reaches us through the layer of the atmosphere. At sunset, the light reaching us travels a greater distance through the atmosphere. Due to the greater distance, there is more scattering of the blue color. As a result, the red-yellow light reaches us directly and the sun appears red. Red light is scattered less than blue light. Next is scattering of light. Now for proving scattering of light, there are certain experiments. And all the experiments using laser rays, it should be done under the supervision of your teacher or your parents. Okay, and one simple experiment I'll discuss over here. That is, for this the apparatus required are the glass beaker, this thing laser pointer, water, milk or milk powder, spoon, dropper, etc. Now let's see what's the procedure. What you have to do is you have to take clear water in a glass beaker, pass a beam of laser rays through it. Check whether the beam is seen in the water. Now, use the dropper to add a few drops of milk to the water and stir. The water will be seen to have become slightly turbid. Now, pass the laser beam into it again. A light beam will show the existence of light rays. A light beam is not seen in the plain water but is clearly seen in slightly turbid water. The light rays hit the tiny particles of milk and get scattered. If these scattered rays enter our eyes, we perceive the light. When the sun rises, our surroundings appear illuminated. The entire sky appears bright. This happens because of the dust and other tiny particles in the air. This is the scattering of sunlight by the tiny particles of the various constituents of air. Had there been no atmosphere on earth, the sky would have appeared dark during the day and of course the sun would be directly seen. This has been verified by observations from the rockets and satellites which go out of the earth's atmosphere. Now let's see another experiment for scattering of light. Now the things required, it means the apparatus required for the experiment is a table lamp with a 60 or 100 volt milky bulb. LED will not do, thick black paper, sticking tape, a packing needle, 100 or 200 ml glass beaker, milk or milk powder, dropper, spoon, etc. Now the procedure is, you have to cover the mouth of the lampshade properly with black paper using sticking tape. Prick a hole of 1 to 2 mm diameter in the center of the paper with the help of the packing needle. Take clear water in the beaker, light the bulb and place the beaker in contact with the hole. Observe from the front and at an angle of 90 degree. Now add 2-3 drops of milk to the water and stir. Observe again. A few more drops of milk may have to be added to make the water turbid. A blue tinge is seen when observed along the 90-degree angle. This is the scattered blue light. Because the blue light is scattered, a red-yellow light is seen from the front and the whole appears reddish. This experiment should be done in a dark room, then it is more beneficial. Okay. If a few more drops of milk are added, the reddish color seen from the front becomes an intense red. However, if many more drops are added, the reddish color is not seen. Now, why is this so? Because sunlight is scattered by the molecules of gases like nitrogen, oxygen in the atmosphere. The blue color in the sunlight is scattered the most and therefore the sky appears blue. Students, already in your previous class you have learned about what is a shadow, how is a shadow formed. But let's recall certain things. Like the shadow of an object is formed only when light does not pass through the object. The kind of shadow it forms depends upon the relative distances between the source of light, the object and the surface or the screen on which the shadow is formed. The shadow of an object formed due to sunlight is long in the mornings and evenings and short in the afternoon. We can easily note these changes if we observe the trees along the roadside. This change in the shadow depends on the source of light, the object and also on the surface on which the shadow is formed. But in this lesson we are going to learn about the shadow obtained from a point source and extended source. Shadow formed by a point source. Now the apparatus required for this are the candle or torch, cardboard, screen, small ball, big ball, etc. Take either a candle or torch as a light source. In front of it, set up a cardboard with a tiny hole, as shown in the figure. Now the light is seen to emerge from the hole on the cardboard. Such a light source is called point source. Place a screen vertically at a distance of 1 meter beyond the cardboard. Hang the big ball between the screen and the cardboard. Observe the shadow AB of the ball. The rays OP and OQ starting from the point source just pass by the ball and fall on the points A and B on the screen respectively. However, since no rays reach the screen between the points A and B, that parts remain unlit. This is the dark shadow or the umbra. What happens if the cardboard with the pinhole is removed? Now we do not have a point source. This source is called an extended source. Due to the extended source, we see two parts in the shadow of the ball on the screen, one faint and one dark. The faint part is called the penumbra and the dark part is called the umbra. Let us see what happens in the following activity when the ball is bigger than the extended source. Keeping the distance between the extended source and the ball constant, move the screen further and further away and observe the shadow. As the screen moves further, the umbra and the penumbra in the shadow of the ball are seen to become bigger and bigger. Now replace the big ball with one that is smaller in size than the light source. Observe its shadow on the screen. We see the umbra and penumbra of the ball on it. Now, without moving the light source and the ball, move the screen further away from the ball and observe its shadow. As the screen moves further, the umbra becomes smaller and smaller and at a certain point it disappears. In short, if we see what is point source and extended source, then when a source of light is very small in size, it is called a point source, and when a source of light is bigger in size, it is called an extended source. So it is so much simple. Okay. Now in this way we have completed the first part of this video, and in this first part we learned about scattering of light and the shadow obtained from a point source and extended source. In the next video we shall learn about the eclipse. Okay, till then you have to read the lesson properly and the diagrams given in your textbook on page number 115. You have to draw those diagrams in your classwork and study well.